Good morning everyone. In this video we will continue our discussion on network fundamentals, specifically focusing on nodes and how they differ from network components. Before we jump into the session, we have covered overview the syllabus of CCNA 200301, which is consisting of 6 modules. First one is network fundamental, network access, IP connectivity, IP services, then security fundamentals, and last one is automation and programmability. In this module, we are focusing especially in the subsection of this. We have covered an important point about network components. This is a physical device which is used to make up a network. This is a physical device which is used to make up a network infrastructure. And for more information, we should revisit the previous videos, which is very helpful to for network administrator and for CCNA students. Now, in this video, which is related to nodes, I ensure that you will be able to define the nodes and you will be able to differentiate between nodes and components. There are two elements of a network infrastructure. If you talk about network infrastructure, which is very essential, and if you look at the some immediate nodes in computer network, look at this type of figure, then you will be able to define and you will be able to understand the network infrastructure, and then you can define the nodes and as well as network components, because they are connected to each other. And do you know what is the important elements of network infrastructure? Do you know what is the important elements of network infrastructure? This is a network infrastructure. Clear? This network infrastructure has two elements. First one is network components. And second one is nodes. And for your kind information, if you are network administrator, then you should be familiar with nodes and network components. And if you have information about network infrastructure of your ecosystem, and you know the roles and functions of network infrastructure, that means you should have information about network components, what is the role and what is the function, and you have information about nodes, what is the role and what is the function, then you are able to design and deploy, maintain robust and efficient network. Clear? If you have information about role and functions, then role and function, then you will be able to define and you will be able to design and deploy and maintain the robust infrastructure. Clear? This is network infrastructure. And if you have information of network components and nodes, then you will be able to define the network infrastructure clearly. So First point is that we have information about network components, but we do not have information about nodes. Clear? What is nodes? What is, how can I define it? So, as we know, network infrastructure consists of two elements, which is most important. First one is network components, and second one is nodes. So, nodes and network components are the two important elements in network infrastructure. So, nodes are individual devices or entities that are connected to network. So, this is a device that are connected to network. Clear? To network. These are the entities and important devices. These are individual devices that are connected to network and participate in data communication. Then participate in data communication. Clear? Now, while network components, what is the network components? Refer to the physical devices that make up the network. It is for make up the network. Clear? The network. Where nodes is the connected to network and participate in data communication. Clear? This provide the platform to make up the network infrastructure. So we can classify network in two ways. We can classify network in two ways. In two or three ways. We can classify in nodes. This is nodes, and we can classify in three ways. First one is in devices. In devices. And second one is intermediate devices. Clear? And third one is network services. Clear? These are the three devices of nodes. So what is the end devices? These devices that directly interact these devices that directly interact with users and generate and consume data in devices of network, such that laptop, computers, smartphone. Clear? Printers. We use these devices to interact with users. We use to communicate, to participate in data communication. So end devices are the source or destination of data within the network. Clear? Now second one is the intermediate devices. What is the intermediate? These devices facilitate data transfer between end devices. That means end devices and in devices there is a intermediate data transfer. Clear? Data transfer. So intermediate devices provide the platform to data transfer between in devices, such as routers, switches. Clear? Firewalls. So we can say that these devices are intermediate devices because these devices transfer the information, transfer the data between in devices. Now, third one is network services. What is the network services? These devices provide specific network services or functions. Clear? Provide specific particular function, specific function. Clear? Which type of function? Such that DHCP services, dynamic host communication protocol, servers, DHCP server, DNS server, domain name service, domain name system. Clear? Proxy server. Do you know we are using these type of names, which is very important to understand the network infrastructure, because if you don't have information about DHCP, DNS, do you know, if you have a laptop you can search. If you look at the here, and you can find out the DHCP, and if you use the command prompt, then you should know information about network, about your connection. Clear? Then NTP, network time protocol. And DNS is used to define, to convert. Do you know internet does not understand your language, it understand only numerical value, and numerical value is consist of only IP addresses, is known as IP addresses. That means it consists of 32-bit digits. Clear? And DHCP server provide the facility for its, because nobody can provide dynamically any IP addresses. So provide dynamically IP addresses, we use DHCP. And to resolve the problem of IP addresses and domain name, we use DNS services, network time protocol. So there are many services which is very useful. These comes under network services, which is also known as nodes. Do you know? For your kind information, we can say that we can differentiate. Do you know? Everything you should know about this point. We are able to define it. Here, this is the biggest diagram, nodes and network components. Do you say all network components is under nodes? And that means we cannot say all nodes is the network components. Some nodes is the network components, but all network components is known, defined as nodes. Clear? This is a clear understanding. All network components comes under nodes, and some network components comes under nodes. Clear? All nodes cannot justify with network components, because here something is remaining. Clear? So we can say that network components specifically refer to the physical devices that perform network infrastructure such as routers, switches, cables, nodes. This is a router, switches. Clear? This, so nodes always come such as router, switches. We can say that nodes work as a logical devices, while network components work as a physical devices. This is a physical devices. Clear? This is a logical devices. Because network component, it make up a network infrastructure, that nodes is used to connect, is connected to a network, is used to connect the network. Here, to connect the network to a network, nodes is used to connected to a network. Clear? And physical devices make up network. These are the common difference. Computer, printers, routers, switches, everything comes under this. And network component such as cable, connectors, hardware, everything. Clear? So we can say that function of the nodes is communicate with other nodes on the network. Communicate with other nodes. So there are many nodes: N1, N2, N3, N4. Clear? Clear? Allowed and communicate with other nodes, communicate with other nodes on the network, and allowed there is connectivity, provide that such type of cables, transmit the data. Clear? To transmit the data we use network components. So here network components, and network component. Clear? Now look at this type of figure. These are intermediate devices because they are connecting to provide transmit the data. These are intermediate devices. We can use such type as a in devices and here in devices. Clear? So we can say this is the nodes. Do you know? I think you are able to differentiate between nodes and computer, and you are able to define the nodes. We can understand a device that is connected to a network is defined as nodes: computer, printers, routers, switches. Clear? Everything comes in. Understanding the distinction between nodes and network component is essential for comprehending the overall network infrastructure. Clear? Overall network infrastructure. By recognizing these roles and function of nodes and network components, network administrator can design, deploy, and maintain robust and efficient network. So, my dear, in the next video we will delve deeper into the different type of network components and their specific functionality. Stay tuned for our next installment in the CCNA syllabus series. where we will explore network infrastructure in a more detail. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video. Thank you for all.